I'm gonna be honest with you guys, when I bought Tales from the Pizzaplex Tiger Rock, I mainly just bought the book for the Tiger Rock story. Bleeding Heart? Nah, get that out of here. The Monty Within? Maybe. Just because it has Monty. I feel like I'm the only person who likes that character. Tiger Rock is an albino tiger dressed in a Elvis costume. He has different colored eyes, one of them being blue and the other being green. Tiger Rock appears to be part of the glam rock band, however he does not physically appear at Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, but instead appears as part of a VR attraction. Tiger Rock is part of an attraction that is supposed to simulate what it would be like to go to Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex a decade into the future. Tiger Rock is also a tour guide for this VR experience, showing people around this future version of the Pizzaplex. Tiger Rock's characterization is pretty interesting. At first, Tiger Rock appears to have this grand enthusiasm, sort of like a ringmaster. He's hyping everything up and he's having fun doing it. And he seems pretty chill. He leads Kai, the main character of Tiger Rock, around the Pizzaplex, showing him all the great attractions. However, Tiger Rock quickly becomes far more sinister as he begins to crush Kai's shoulder with his claws, even digging them into his shoulder. And over time, Kai becomes more and more uncomfortable because this is starting to cause him physical pain. So he tries to get away from Tiger Rock. Tiger Rock does not really seem to understand why Kai is trying to get away from him. He simply thinks that Kai is trying to play some sort of hide-and-seek game with him. Kai starts full-on sprinting, and Tiger Rock starts to chase him. Kai manages to hide inside a futuristic version of Monty's Gator Golf, and he stays there for a while until he sees Tiger Rock, and he starts to run again. He hides in another place before Tiger Rock ultimately finds him and clamps down on his shoulder. And this is where the VR experience ends, and Kai is still very injured, surprisingly, despite this only being a VR experience. He still feels the pain from the animatronic, hurting him. But the person that is in charge of this attraction doesn't really want to do anything about it, and so Kai begrudgingly just leaves. And over the course of several weeks, it would seem, he starts to hallucinate. He sees a Snow White owl with Tiger Rock's eyes. He sees a cat with Tiger Rock's eyes. He starts to hallucinate really badly. And eventually it is just revealed that he was still in the VR game. He had never left. He was in the VR game for 5 hours. And so after being disconnected finally from the VR game, Kai understandably is pretty traumatized by the day's events and simply wants to go home and sleep off the horror, and that's precisely what the kid does. And whilst he's lying in bed, Tiger Rock breaks through his bedroom window, attacks him, breaks his arms, ripping them clean off, and leaves him for dead. After which the story just ends. Tiger Rock would also have a very minor role during the story Storyteller. Now, the Storyteller isn't really an attraction at the Mega Pizzaplex, but rather a supercomputer that also serves as a piece of decor. It is in the shape of a baobab tree and is connected to every computer and machine in the Mega Pizzaplex. The events of the Storyteller follow Edwin Murray. If you don't know who Edwin Murray is, you probably should. He is the original creator of The Mimic. The Mimic actually first appeared in the Tales from the Pizzaplex anthology horror series before it ever appeared in the video games. Some time has passed between the events of the Mimic story and, of course, the storyteller. Edwin is now an old man of 60 years old, and he is working at Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, and his boss is a man by the name of Mr. Burroughs. Mr. Burroughs doesn't really have much to his character. He's the very corrupt, greedy businessman that you always see in these types of things, and so he really loves the storyteller because the storyteller makes up all of these great programs, and he doesn't really have to do a whole lot. He doesn't have to pay a bunch of people either because it just replaces their jobs. And Murray becomes very attracted to the storyteller. He wants to know about it. However, of course, Mr. Burroughs says that only certain people are allowed to go inside of his special tree. Murray also sees a bunch of random people coming into the storyteller machine, and they have a tiger head with them. Now, this tiger head is never explicitly stated to be Tiger Rock, but given he's the only tiger character we see in the franchise, this has to be the case. And they mount this tiger head inside of the control console, inside of the storyteller tree. Edwin goes to investigate, and he sees that this tiger head has sprouted these mechanical arms and is now running a program called Mimic 1. Edwin is super disturbed by this and mutters to himself, "Oh no, it's happening again." We later get to see what the effects of this Mimic 1 program are and how they affect the animatronics, specifically Glamrock Freddy, Glamrock Chica, and Roxanne Wolf. Glamrock Freddy has devolved into this spoiled brat of a child who cries when he doesn't get what he wants. Roxanne Wolf has just become a jerk, she just roasts the shit out of kids and is super aggressive. And then Chica is still gluttony incarnate, but now she's a slut for attention. It's super bizarre, and clearly these animatronics are not behaving the way intended. Now, naturally, Edwin wants to put a stop to this. He realizes that this isn't right, and so he sneaks inside of the storyteller. And this really pisses off Mr. Burroughs because he's doing exactly what he told him not to do. So being the petty son of a bitch that Mr. Burroughs is, he decides to lock him inside of the storyteller. And he does this for a week. And finally he's like, okay, something's not right. This guy has not screamed for help. He has not banged on the door. He has not tried to escape, as you might do if you were trapped somewhere for a long period of time. So he starts to freak out, and so he finally opens up the storyteller tree and finds that Edwin is just gone. He's dead, lying on the floor. And so he decides to leave, and he's not able to. And this, of course, seals his fate. Karma's a bitch. And so he's trapped inside of the storyteller tree and presumably also dies. And this leads to the storyteller tree actually getting destroyed. And that is why we don't see it during the events of Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, because it is no longer at the Mega Pizzaplex. At the end of the night, Tiger Rock is still a pretty mysterious character that we don't know a whole lot about. All we know is that Tiger Rock is a character that was exclusive to this VR experience of going to Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex a decade into the future, and that he apparently likes to grab people's shoulders really tightly, and that's it. He's an Elvis impersonator, he's a tiger, and he's super aggressive on the shoulders. And the story itself blurs reality to the point where it's like, which is reality and which is virtual reality? I mean, it implies that Kai never truly escaped the virtual reality experience, that he was just always trapped there, and that he never truly escaped, and that even him escaping several times, like twice in the story, could even be that he just imagined that he escaped, and that he was always trapped and at the mercy of Tiger Rock, which makes it so much more scarier. And then you have the tiger head that was mounted inside of the storyteller tree, which is just never explained. It's just a head inside of a control console, inside of a supercomputer, inside of a tree. Very bizarre. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed my look at Tiger Rock. Definitely, like I said before, a pretty mysterious and cryptic character, but I really like him. He's a tiger, he's got 2 different colored eyes, he's an Elvis impersonator. Maybe I don't want him to touch me, but he's still a really cool character, and I think he's awesome. Let me know what you guys think about Tiger Rock in the comments below. And with that, do take care, have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.